What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Great pleasure. We've got Sebastian Bassong on the channel to talk about the current situation at Tottenham. Nice of you to come on the channel, Sebastian. It's been a really crazy season for Tottenham, hasn't it? What do you make of just the mess we are in and how we're in this situation where we're 3 games to go, 1 point above the relegation zone? Hopefully, we've turned a corner, but right now, where do you see it going between now and the end of the season? Do you think Tottenham will stay up?
Do I? There's a difference between what I think and what I hope. I hope they stay up. Do I think? I think we're still in the mix. They're still in the mix. They're still in that hurricane, that very high pressure situation, and you can't take your foot off the gas. Because as soon as you take your foot off the gas and you think you turn the corner, this is when you're really in danger. There's 3 games left, 3 cup final, as we people like to say, but realistically, it's been a crazy season. But when you look at it from a closer perspective, you could see it coming. At some
Mm.
point, you could see it coming. When decision making is a skill, and when you keep taking the wrong decision, it doesn't mean that you have the intention to take the wrong decision, but it's a skill. Being a good decision maker, making solving problems and making the right choice. It's like a player. When you're on the pitch and you keep making wrong decision, it doesn't mean you want to make wrong decision, but it turns out like that. And I think that's what I make of the situation. Is sad, and I think people didn't want to face it until recently, and it
Mm.
became real. And when it became real, that almost, because my friends, that made people shit themselves because it could actually happen. And
Mm.
but I think there's good sign there. There's been 2 wins, so and I trust the Zerbi with what he can bring in that situation to keep the
Yeah,
player under pressure.
Yeah, you talk about Zerbi, and obviously last game against Villa was such a big win and it was such a great performance. And we haven't seen Tottenham play like that pretty much throughout the whole season. And yet we still have loads of injuries. We still have a lot of circumstances going against us. And De Zerbi doesn't want to give excuses, does he? He doesn't want to give the players any excuse to not perform at their best. So when you see Tottenham perform like they did against Aston Villa, how do you think De Zerbi can get that out of them when the whole season it looked like we couldn't pass the ball, we couldn't make 2 yard passes, and against Aston Villa we were able to control the game for most of the game?
Uh, I'm a big. This is my job now. I'm a big advocate of the man before the players. People focus on the player, the technical side of it. We can't do this, we can't do that. Guys, at the end of the day, you are looking at human being. Human being has some characteristic. They have and you football players, we are big emotional creature, big emotional creature. So you need some connection. You need what the Zerbi has been able to do is reconnect them with quickly with who they are as a person. Because you can't change a football player like that. It's just a matter of okay, take responsibilities, and he's right. Regardless of who's playing, you are a good player if you're there. If you're a Spurs player, it means that you got a value, you got your quality. You don't you just turn out to be or an accident and you became a player of Spurs like that. So you got something. So Deserby's been able to tap into their psyche and their emotion to show them I got your back, regardless. And that's what a player is looking for. Somebody that can really. We're a team sport, so we need one another. And I think that we're lacking that kind of trust or inner belief. And De Zerbi, nothing tactical. Okay, tactically he's been doing a couple of stuff, but he can't sink in that quick. But what you can have an impact on is who you are as a person. I can tap into your brain. I can tap into your inner self, your emotion side, to give you what you were lacking, and then enable you to start. You could see against Villa the body language, the facial. People were looking at the facial, the way they were expressing themselves. They were a total different team, and that's what De Zerbi has been bringing so
Mm.
far.
But yeah, when you look at De Zerbi, do you think Tottenham have got a good one there? Do you think he could be the manager of Tottenham for the next few years?
He's not known for that. He's not known for to stay at a club for so long. In football, things change really quick. So am I protecting myself, forecasting a couple of years down the line? Now, can he do the job now? He's doing it. It seems to be. Next season, I'm sure he's going to do, when we're going to stay in the Premier League, he's going to do a great job. But then, football ups and downs. But he's a good one. All the managers were good managers. Don't get me wrong; they're all good managers. But the timing, the fit it wasn't fitting. But you can't say the player is a bad player, a manager is a bad manager. No, 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 no. We owe some respect to managers and some players, but it wasn't the right fit and it wasn't working with Spurs. And that's when we should have changed. Spurs should have changed manager quicker. That's why it goes down to the decision making. But I'm not digging any manager down. They're good managers, but not for Spurs. That's it.
Looking at just lastly, looking at the centre backs Tottenham had, there's been a lot of question marks about all of them this season. Romero, Van de Ven, whether they want to be here, whether they're looking to leave. Kevin Danso as well. He's the one who's come in and actually done a good job. Can you give me your opinion on the current state of our centre backs when you look at Romero and Van de Ven play? Do you think their heart's in it? Do you think they're going to be angling for a move? And also, just touching on Danso, do you like he played a similar role to you, like kind of third choice centre back coming into the team, and he's come in and done quite a good job. What do you think of him as well?
I think Mickey Van de Ven and Cuti Romero, the two first choice centre back. Cuti Romero was just keeper. I think their heart. Yeah, I think their heart is into it. It's difficult because their heart has always been there, but at different frequency. At different frequency. I would never say that someone gave up. That's not what a player is like. But there's some moment that you're going through that are you less connected and not on purpose. So that's why manager and the staff is important to reconnect you, to find a way to reconnect you to what you wish you would be. So Cuti Romero, I think he's been up and down. For me, he's been missing so many games so often, whether it's through injury or for suspension, and it's been a blow because when he's your captain, you want to rely on him. You don't want to think about how he might be getting sent off or not. So it's difficult. And Mickey Van de Ven, I think, he's been suffering from missing his partner at some point, and he had to do way too much compared to when Romero is there. It's kind of balanced. Everyone can focus on what he's really good at, and that can allow him to be. And at some point, Mickey Van de Ven became captain, and he had so many expectations around him, and he couldn't deliver. But it was just for me the representation of what was going wrong, not necessarily him personally, but I rate him. I rate him big time. Left-footed centre back going forward, yeah, strong, rapid, fast. I rate him. And Kevin Dunso, I think he's been doing pretty good considering the gap and the void that he had to fill. Sometimes he was trying a bit too hard, which got him a little bit into trouble. But overall, for me, he's been a soldier and he's been a physical presence. So I have nothing wrong to say about Kevin Danso.